57% of adults are lonely right now. Statistically, that includes someone you already know. Smoking 15 cigarettes a day, that is what the US Surgeon General says chronic loneliness does to your body. The most successful people I know are also the loneliest people I know. That's not a coincidence. It's the business model. A huge share of people who hire a coach, join a mastermind, or buy into a self-help program are not missing information. They're missing someone to say it to. Research out of HEC Montreal found 55% of CEOs report significant bouts of loneliness, and roughly 1 in 5 routinely downplay it rather than say it out loud. That's not the dramatic kind of lonely. It's the quiet kind, the kind where you are capable, successful, functioning, and still have no one to talk to when you want. Comment landed a few days ago on another post that I did from an executive coach, extremely highly qualified psychologist, educated at Stanford, Sarah D'Souza. And this comment really made me realize that I only had half the story. Quick version. For anyone new here, willpower is not a muscle that runs out. That idea quietly collapsed under a 2016 replication study. The real block, according to Harvard's immunity to change research, is a hidden competing commitment working against the goal at the exact time as the goal itself. And a chunk of the coaching industry is just not incentivized to close that gap. It's incentivized to keep you paying while it stays open. That diagnosis is correct. It's also incomplete. 99% satisfaction, 96% would do it again. That should sound like success. It is actually the tell. Those are the coaching industry's own numbers from the International Coaching Federation's Global Coaching Client Survey. On the surface, that reads like the model works. Look closer and it reads like the opposite. That level of repeat buying is not what resolution looks like. It's what relief looks like on a loop. Sarah's point was simple and it reframed the whole argument. Not everyone buying into this industry wants a fix. A lot of people are not even looking for more information at all. They're looking for connection, care, community, and permission to just be, rather than permission to do. Two people can buy the exact same course. One wanted a fix, one wanted to feel less alone. The industry sells the people the same product, priced the same way, promising the same transformation. For one of them, the product was never going to work because it was never solving the problem they actually had. So here's the missing layer. Your conscious mind sets the goal. Your subconscious mind runs the show. Nobody selling you a course has ever spoken to the second one. Britain's leading hypnotist, the late Jonathan Chase, told me this industry's been solving half the problem of the brain for decades. I recorded a conversation with Jonathan Chase. Billed by the Mail on Sunday is exactly that, before he passed in 2024. His framework was built entirely around this split. The conscious mind sets the goal, the subconscious mind runs the behavior. And most of this industry only ever talks to the conscious mind. That's why the achievement seeker fails. The intention was real, the subconscious was never addressed. So the old pattern wins by default. And it's also why the belonging seeker only improves temporarily. Connection genuinely soothes something real at the subconscious level. That's not nothing, and it's why it works for a while. but nothing structurally changed underneath it. So the relief fades and the buying cycle starts again. Same missing layer, two different symptoms. So here's the permission problem. Why does a capable, successful adult need someone else's permission just to feel okay? Nobody in this industry wants to answer that, because permission is not information and you cannot manufacture it at scale. You cannot sell permission in a course. You can only give it human to human. And that's the entire business model of a good coach. And it also is exactly what a course, a book, or a chatbot cannot replace, cannot replicate, no matter how good the content is, which is also why the immunity to change work here, again, matters. That hidden commitment, that hidden competing commitment is very often protecting something that once felt like safety. Undoing it quite quietly needs to feel safe too. Information just does not do that. Presence does. So here's what actually works. So neither side of the fork is wrong on its own. Structure without permission produces intention that never converts. Permission without structure produces relief that never compounds. What actually works sits in the overlap. Expert insight that speaks to both layers at once, delivered by someone who understands the mechanism, revisited regularly rather than consumed once and shelved. We built Monday Influencer around that overlap on purpose. Curated expert insight for people who are done buying courses that only talk to the conscious mind, and done paying for belonging that never turns into progress. Want more? Change your life. Subscribe, change your life. Subscribe to Monday Influencer. $19.95 a month with a $1 trial. The link is below. Thank you.